the fork hovered midway to my lips. The aroma of roasted turkey and cranberry sauce thick in the air. When my father, Michael, cleared his throat and dropped the hammer. Amelia, it's time. We're selling the house. You need to move out by New Year's. The words landed like a sucker punch in the gut. Right there at the holiday table in our old Connecticut farmhouse. Strings of twinkling lights casting a mocking glow over the scene. My mother, Lorraine, nodded firmly, her eyes avoiding mine as she passed the mashed potatoes. You've been here long enough since the divorce. Honey, stand on your own 2 feet. My brother Kyle, ever the golden child with his flashy sales job at the luxury car dealership, raised his glass with a smug grin. To new beginnings and our upgrade. Bigger place. Pool. The whole 9 yards. His wife, Paige, a part-time real estate agent who loved showing off her latest designer bag, chimed in eagerly. Better schools for the kids, too. It's perfect. Aunt Valerie, who ran a quaint coffee shop in town, clapped her hands. Uncle Walter, the retired financial advisor always crunching numbers on his tablet, started rattling off market values. Cousin Yale, home from college with his backpack slung over a chair, was already asking about dibs on the basement rec room. No one paused to ask how I'd scraped together first and last month's rent on my freelance graphic design gigs, or where I'd land after 3 years of piecing my life back together post-divorce. They just clinked glasses, toasting to their fresh start. While I sat frozen, the room spinning like I'd been slapped. Kyle leaned in close, his voice a low hiss meant only for me. You've got 3 weeks. Tops. Pack light, most of your stuff's junk anyway. Lorraine added with a tight smile. We'll help sort through it. The cheers swelled, laughter bubbling up as if my world wasn't crumbling. I pushed back my chair with a screech that cut through the noise, stood up, and walked out the front door without a word. The screen slammed shut behind me, snowflakes stinging my face like tiny accusations. I pulled out my phone, fingers numb in the December chill, and dialed the one number I'd vowed never to use again, my old law school friend, Jordan Hale, now a sharp real estate attorney in Hartford. As the line rang, the betrayal burned hotter than the holiday lights twinkling through the window. They'd planned this ambush, blind to the secret I'd buried for over a year, the one that would turn their celebration into ashes. Inside, the assault continued without me, their voices carrying through the frosted glass like echoes in a bad dream. Michael boomed from his seat at the head of the table. Amelia's 34. For God's sake. Still mooching off us like a teenager. Lorraine jumped in, her tone laced with that familiar mix of disappointment and righteousness. Exactly. Time she learned some real responsibility. Kyle, lounging back with his arms crossed, smirked wider. We've been mapping this out for months now. Paige nodded, fiddling with her necklace. The new house has 4 bedrooms, a heated pool. It's in the top school district. Aunt Valerie beamed. Plenty of space for family gatherings. Finally, Uncle Walter pulled up comps on his phone. Market's red hot. This place could sell quick with a few tweaks. Yale grinned. Does the new spot have a hot tub? The table erupted in excited chatter, plans unfolding like a well-rehearsed script. Kyle raised his glass again. We close on the upgrade next month if this flips fast. Paige scrolled through paint swatches on her app. Valerie dreamed up menus for housewarmings. Walter calculated closing costs aloud. Yale texted buddies about epic summer barbecues. Lorraine patted Kyle's hand. Your dad and I get the in-law suite, no more creaky stairs. Michael agreed. Smart for our golden years. Not a single glance toward the empty chair where I'd sat. The blueprint for their future steamrolled ahead, as if I were already a ghost. I gripped the porch railing, my breath fogging the air. The cold seeping through my sweater like the isolation sinking in. 3 weeks to vacate a home that, unbeknownst to them, belonged to me. They'd plotted to cash in on property that wasn't theirs to sell, without so much as looping me in. Through the window, Kyle's voice drifted out again. My realtor buddy owes me one. Listing goes live right after New Year's. Paige giggled. Pool parties all summer long. Valerie called for pie. Walter toasted to prosperity. Yale begged for the guest suite. Their happiness built on my erasure. I tugged my coat tighter, mind racing through the steps I'd take. The truth I'd shielded for 16 months was about to erupt, shattering their illusions like fragile ornaments. The snow fell heavier as I sank onto the porch steps, thumb trembling as I hit dial. Jordan picked up on the second ring, his voice groggy but alert. Amelia? It's Christmas Eve, everything okay? I kept it hushed, the wind whipping around me. Need you to pull the title on the farmhouse. 47, Pine Ridge Lane, Manchester. Keys clacked in the background. Give me a minute. The silence stretched, my heart thumping against the shutter's rattle. Jordan came back, tone sharpening. Foreclosure hit 16 months back. Auction closed. Buyer cleared the lien in cash. That buyer was me, I said flatly. He exhaled long and slow. You own it free and clear. Titles in your LLC's name. I shut my eyes. The timeline flooding back, Michael's heart attack draining their nest egg. Lorraine pawning heirlooms for copays. The foreclosure notice they'd stashed in the junk drawer like a dirty secret. I'd found it while rummaging for filters one morning, their pride too brittle to admit the brink they teetered on. Jordan cut into my reverie. Do they know? No. Told them the bank gave a medical hardship extension. Kept their dignity intact. He grunted. Clever. But dicey. If they try listing it, that's fraud territory. We can stop it cold, cease and desist tonight. Emailed and certified. His voice turned brotherly. You ready for the fallout? This'll be a nuke. It's already blown, I whispered. Just contain it. He promised drafts by dawn and hung up. I pocketed the phone, ears pricking toward the house. Silhouettes shifted inside, Kyle pacing. Phone pressed to his ear. Yeah. Tomorrow morning's good. Bring the drone for aerials. Staging? Clear the clutter. Neutral vibes. Pause. Commission? Standard 6. But push for 5 family favor. He laughed, clapping Michael on the back. Lorraine topped off wines. Valerie hummed while clearing plates. Walter spread printouts across the coffee table, comps, escrow timelines. Yale snapped pics of the mantle. Kyle wrapped the call. Locked in. Photos at 8 sharp. Cheers rose again. Cider popping. Glasses clinking. Plans cemented around a phantom sale. My phone buzzed, Jordan's email. Urgent legal notice. PDF attached. Firm letterhead stamped. It cited property codes, demanding an immediate halt to any marketing, with CCs to the realtor's office. I forwarded it to my archives. Evidence locked. The house glowed warmly behind them, oblivious to the storm brewing. They sketched empires on land I held the deed to. Kyle's voice carried one more time, once it closes. We're golden, down payment on the new build. Boost the college fund. Maybe that boat Dad's eyed. Michael chuckled. Retirement on the water. Yeah. Lorraine gushed over countertops. Valerie planned double oven bakes. Walter projected profits. Yale claimed the pool house. Paige promised playdates. The fantasy ballooned, every detail rooted in delusion. I rose, boots crunching snow. The cease-and-desist primed to detonate at sunrise. Their agent would bail before the coffee brewed. And when the questions flew, the answers waited in ink. Christmas morning dawned crisp and cruel. the knock echoing at 7:42 like a starting gun. Kyle bounded downstairs in joggers, yanking the door open for the realtor, a polished woman in heels, clipboard in hand, camera slung over her shoulder. Right on time. Kitchen first? She stepped in, tracking slush on the rug. Kyle trailed, gesturing grandly. Original hardwoods. Appliances upgraded last year. She nodded, snapping shots. Solid structure. Great curb appeal. Upstairs stirred Lorraine in her robe. Mugs steaming, Michael with his paper, Valerie emerging tousled, Walter calculator ready, Yale bleary-eyed. The realtor worked methodically. Fireplace is a seller's dream. Dining seats 12 easy. She measured. Noted natural light. Kyle beamed as they headed out. Backyard's the star, half-acre. Mature oaks. Page joined. Phone out. Cleared personal stuff like you suggested. The agent approved. Minimal staging here, it'll fly. Back inside. Flushed from cold. Kyle poured her coffee. Comps in the neighborhood? She spread sheets. Similar properties closed fast last month above asking. That's when Kyle's phone shrilled. He answered on speaker. Casual. Hey. What's up? The office voice cracked urgent. Kill the listing. Legal notice just landed, cease all activity now. Kyle's brow furrowed. What notice? She read it verbatim. Property unauthorized for sale. Owner demands halt or face litigation. His face drained. Must be a mix-up, this is our family home. Voice firm, title says otherwise. Shoots cancelled. Click. Kyle stared at the deadline. Lorraine snatched the phone. Call back. Michael barked. What owner? Valerie whispered. Lawsuit. Walter scanned the forwarded email. Yale peeked over. I stepped from the hallway shadows. That'd be me. Silence crashed down. Kyle spun. You? What the hell kind of joke? I unfolded papers from my pocket deed. LLC docs. Auction receipt. 16 months ago. Bank foreclosed. I bought it at auction. Cleared the debt. Title's mine. Lorraine's mug shattered on the tile. You owned it? Michael's paper crumpled in his grip. All this time. Kyle snatched the sheets. Bullshit, we've lived here decades. I pointed. Fireline, Amelia Hart Holdings. His eyes bulged at the dates. Paige gasped. You let us believe. Valerie cut in. Why hide it? Walter adjusted specs. Tax mess waiting to happen. Yale muttered. This kills everything. I faced Michael square. Your bypass wiped your savings. Foreclosure was final. I stepped in to spare you the streets. Lorraine's hand flew to her mouth. We thought the bank extended for medical reasons. That was the cover, I said. Easier than the shame. Kyle flipped pages wildly. You could have told us, we'd repay. Michael's voice quavered. Son. Easy. But Kyle raged. She tanked the sale. Lorraine sided instantly. Amelia. Kyle poured heart into this. I held firm. A plan on my asset. No consult. Michael tried. Families talk big decisions. Lorraine echoed. Kyle needs this for his growing family. Valerie nodded. Think of the grandkids. Walter crunched. Equity splits fair. Yale whined. Pool's gone. Paige teared up. We signed contracts. Kyle thrust papers back. Retract the notice. Sell and reimburse later. I refused. House stays off market. Michael pleaded. Be reasonable, Kyle deserves. Lorraine chimed. He's the provider now. Loyalty locked on him. Shock morphing to defense. The realtor slipped out. Call when it's sorted. Door slammed. Lorraine mopped shards. Ruined Christmas. Michael sighed. Always the drama queen. Kyle paced. Selfish. Blocking our progress. I tucked docs away. Saved you once. Obligation ends. Faces hardened, shock to shields for the golden boy. No thanks emerged. Just blame my way. The kitchen hung heavy, like a wake. Michael slammed his mug. Coffee sloshing. You wrecked it all. Amelia. We had futures mapped. Lorraine whirled from the sink. Towel wrung tight. Kyle slaved over this. Now spite torpedoes his dreams. Kyle loomed by the fridge. Knuckles white. Not your call. You played puppet master. Paige slumped in a chair. Sobs muffled in sleeves. Earnest money down, non-refundable. Kids lose the yard. Schools. Her voice broke. How do we tell them? I stood unyielding by the island. Papers gripped. My property. Dreams on quicksand. Michael paced linoleum. Finger jabbing. This house was our life. You stole the rain, sneaky. Lorraine nodded fierce. Kyle sacrificed weekend scouting. Now dust from your lie. Valerie stormed in. Arms folded. Share proceeds fair, family style. Walter trailed. Equity divide standard. Your buyout recouped. Yale hovered doorway. Wide-eyed. No move now. Kyle exploded. She hoards it. We all poured sweat. Memories. Paige wiped tears. Rising shaky. Deposit was our nest egg, lose it. We're broke. Michael turned icy. Refund them. Act like blood. Lorraine sharp. Kin don't hoard. Kyle's career built this stability. Valerie pressed. Grandkids need room. Your windfall shouldn't bar us. Walter notepad out. Shares now, equal minus your outlay. I laid stack deliberate, deed stamped. Transfer. Settlement redacted. Closing notary fresh. LLC bold. My sig stark. Ownership proven. No shares. Kyle grabbed top. Scanning rabid. Forged gotta be. Page peered. Tears streaming. Why us? Trusted you. Michael snatched auction record. Date matches my surgery. You watched us bleed dry. Bought low. Lorraine eyes darted. Hundreds vanished for what? Control? Valerie demanded closing. Sign half over. Fair. Walter traced figures. Reallocate debts. Yale whispered. Ruins the holidays. I spread them flat. Foreclosure crushed. I clear despair eviction. Credit ruin at your age. Kyle tossed deed. Spare us? Manipulated. We'd loan it out. Paige clutched phone. Scrolling desperate. Seller's remorse loophole, we fight. Michael growled. Court if must. Lorraine instant. Kyle's future first yield title. Valerie jabbed. Greed ugly. Divides. Walter sketched columns. Advance plus interest, rest communal. Voices layered entitlement chorus. Kyle circled. Admit envy of my wins. Paige sniffled. Babies need stability. I tapped stamp. Stability I preserved. You plotted sale silent. Michael flushed. Assumed rights, blood does. Lorraine bitter. Kyle earned lead, step back. Valerie huffed. Petty shames us. Papers stark under light. Kyle swept them floorward. Burn em. We rebuild. Paige knelt gathering. Fresh sobs. Lost all in a morning. Michael retrieved deed. Changes zilch where kin. Lorraine shoulders tense. Your choice poisons. Valerie muttered selfish. Walter folded notes. Legal eats gains. Yale slipped up quiet. Kyle faced last. Eyes steel. Chose alone, we forward. Paige hugged his waist. Together. Unity reformed. My truth a mere hiccup. I gathered sheets methodical. No sorries. No gratitude for bailout. Resentment at the bearer. Clock ticked. Fracture etched deep. I placed the key on the table. Meeting their eyes one final time. House is mine. No sale. Pay market rent or vacate by month's end. Michael's jaw slackened. Rent from blood. Lorraine recoiled. Charge us after all? Kyle lunged. Extortion straight up. Paige clutched him. Can't swing that plus deposit hit. I stood firm. Fair, HOA. Taxes. Upkeep my load. Cover yours or go. Valerie gasped. Evict kin. Walter frowned. Lease required. Yale shifted. Michael bargained. Senior discount? I shook head. $2,000 monthly. Utilities extra. Lorraine twisted. Highway robbery, we raised you here. Kyle furious. Sell. Split clean, win-win. Paige tearful. Proceeds fund new build. Valerie added. Compromise preserves peace. I grabbed coat. No compromise. Rent or relocate. Michael palm-slapped table. Cash over family. Fine, we'll thrive sans your roof. Lorraine cold. Keep charity, we pick independence. Decision sealed, no rent. No stay. Kyle sneered. Regret the solitude. Paige whispered cruel. Valerie turned. Ungrateful. Walter pocketed calc. Eviction clock ticks. I headed doorward. Michael called. Last shot, sell. Share. I didn't glance. Offers dead. Outside. Snow crunched as my buddy Xander Reed, a freelance investigative reporter who'd covered local foreclosures, leaned on his Jeep. Recorder humming from the porch mic. Caught the meltdown, pure gold. I slid in passenger. Drive. Farmhouse shrank in rearview. Kyle burst out yelling mute in wind. Lorraine waved arms. Michael rigid. Valerie shouted lost. Xander eyed me. Block M. Fingers steady. I deleted. Michael. Lorraine. Kyle. Paige. Valerie. Walter. Yale. Groups muted. Socials blocked. Emails filtered. He took back roads. Apartment hunt tomorrow. I nodded. One bed city edge. Clean slate. Xander offered. Crash mine tonight, couch ready. Drive blurred white pastures. I powered phone off. Glove boxed it. No pleas anticipated, their ego walled silence. Xander parked at a roadside diner. Neon flickering. Coffee before freeze-out. Booth reeked bacon. Burnt Joe. We claimed corner. He replayed clips, Michael's rent rebuff. Lorraine's independence vow. Kyle's extortion charge. This trends if you greenlight. I stirred sugar deliberate. Private ammo if they swing dirty. He stashed drive. Locked. Hours dissolved. Plans solidified. Lease e-signed for Riverview one bed. Movers booked basics. Bank statements rerouted. Title insurance refreshed. Xander dropped me at complex by dusk. Call anytime. Hugged brief. Back up thanks. Tail lights faded. Unit empty. Boxes minimal. Bed up. Laptop charged. No decor. No kin pics. Break crisp. Phone dormant overnight. Week past mute. Two confirmed. No outreach. No regrets. No checks. No trucks. Locks app changed. Cams installed. Mail forwarded. Utilities mine. Month-end eviction drafted. Holstered. Xander checked daily. Still ghosted. As expected. He fed leads, remote design roles. Apps sent. Interviews lined. Farmhouse receded to echo. Their greed torched bridge, my unburdened stride forward. Ties cut surgical. No rear view. No olive branches. 6 months on. Unknown text, Amelia. Valerie. Urgent call. Riverview window framed city hum I ignored. Another, please, we lost the place. Phone face down. Contracts piled. Graphics steady. Studio sparse. Desk. Futon. Brewer. No past clutter. Xander forwarded records. HOA foreclosure on farmhouse. Liens for dues. Fees snowballed. Auction loomed. Michael. Lorraine occupants. Eviction pending. Deeper. Taxes delinquent. Utilities cut off threats. My once saved haven slipping again. Pride nixed rent. Stubbornness doomed. Kyle hit worse. Xander unearthed filings. Paige's divorce. Financial grounds. Kyle axed from dealership over quotas. Creditors hounded. Support spiked. Paige bunked parents' Midwest condo. Custody halved. Kids weekend shuttled. Her feeds locked. But leaks spilled. Deposit forfeit gutted savings. Dream dissolved. Michael early retired. Pension skimpy. Lorraine quit coffee gig. Meds skipped. Valerie's shop tanked on supply hikes. Walter consulted patchy. Yale paused school. Stocked shelves. I scrolled auction listing evenings. Bid low. Market dipped. Picks, weeds rampant. Paint flaked. Porch sagged. Barn askew. No takers. Certified letter via Jordan. HOA notice to ex-owner. Signed. Filed. No ties. Xander brought takeout. Regrets? Shrug. Curious. Not care. Burgers unpacked. They're scattering. Kyle couch hopping. Paige's folks cramped. Weeks flowed. Auction flipped cheap to investor. Demo permit for lots. Farmhouse raised by autumn. I snagged promo. Salary hike. Rent breeze. Gym joined. Hikes weekend. Circle expanded. Coworkers. Neighbors, no family nods. Night voicemail from Lorraine via burner. Motel now. Help. Delete. Michael week later. Errors made. Block. Kyle emailed. Loan desperate. Restart. Spam. Paige messaged. Kids miss Aunt Amelia. Read. Ghost. Valerie begged reunion. Forgive. Forget. Archive. Fallout public. Paper blurb on displaced locals. Bad planning blamed. No links to me. Overdone coffee. Reflection hit. Kindness ain't endless chain. I yanked them from abyss once. Debts paid. Face saved. They picked avarice over thanks. Ouster over equity. Boundaries ain't malice. Survival enabling halts at respect's end. No remorse brewed. One rescue enough. Reboots demand reckoning. They skipped. I rebuilt loan. Tougher. Their tumble from post-save choices. Lesson sharp. Guard peace. Blood don't override self. Give once if can. But unchained from ungratefulness. Walk unbowed when lines snap eternal.